Hello, all of you clay people out there. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. So this is a 2024 animation, and it is Claymation. It's not just regular 3D or 2D. Claymation animation, directed by Nick Park. Nick Park has done other Wallace and Gromit stuff, but he's also done Shaun the Sheep, Chicken Run, Early Man, all those things. So he is pretty experienced in the claymation thing. He's worked on Flushed Away too. This guy's been everywhere. If you see claymation, it's probably Nick Park, okay? Merlin Crossingham is also credited as a director, but he hasn't done much, so I'm assuming he just made sure everything ran smoothly. I'm not too sure what is going on there. The voice acting talent here is really spot on. I'll mention a few standouts like Diane Morgan voiced a reporter. You'll probably recognize her as a comedian. She was Kunk on Earth, Kunk on Life, and all those things. It's like a comedic documentary thingy. Reese Shearsmith voiced the robot thingy. He starred in a bunch of movies and shows. Peter Kay was the inspector. He's a popular comedian. So everyone has at least experience in animation or somewhere else. So it's a great group overall working on this. Before the movie, I just want to quickly give background on Wallace and Gromit in general. It is a series of movies and films and stuff. Starting in 1989, there was a total of 7 films, and 2 of them were feature length. The first one being Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and this one, Vengeance Most Fowl. I did watch Curse of the Were-Rabbit. That movie was awesome. It was about Wallace turning into a giant rabbit, like werewolves turning into wolves in the night. It was very funny. Characters were adorable, even the villain. Long story short, it's a classic. That one was in 2005. And this one is in 2024, so 19 years between the last Wallace and Gromit movies. I was excited because obviously it's been ages, and I loved the first one so much. What's not to like about the second one? So Vengeance Most Fowl is about Wallace building a sentient gnome kind of robot thingy that helps with gardening, and he opens like a garden service and stuff. No shit, the robot turns evil. And then behind the scenes, there's this evil penguin dude that's plotting his revenge. There's an inspector. There's like a deputy or something. She's like a up and coming police officer. It's a whole lot of fun. These 2 movies are good, but I can say that for sure the quality was much better in Vengeance Most Fowl. They took those years and they did well. Okay. For example, they have a lot of moments with water. Let's say a submarine coming up from out of the water. The water looks good. It looks amazing for claymation. Seriously, it's awesome. The gags are funny, just like in the first one. And I just don't like the writing. Maybe it's just not my style. The story was good, don't get me wrong. There's lots of interesting plot twists. I thought the main villain was written in a weird way, but it turns out he was in a previous movie, so I should have just watched it, fair enough. The whole hacking of the gnome mainframe to turn him evil robots thing, making like an army of evil robots, is a very modern thing. Like, obviously, a 2005 plot will be about werewolves, and a 2024 plot will be about robots. That makes total sense. There's almost 20 years of evolution in the movie industry in general. Obviously, the movies are going to be way different. I'm just going to go with my gut and say that I'm not the biggest fan of like a lot of the things going on in the movie, especially compared to the first one. I'm just comparing the 2. But by itself, this movie is still good. The voice acting's good. Action scenes were very impressive. Listen, for claymation, this movie looks stunning. Like, really. So with all that being said, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I had conflicts in my heart of hearts. Wallace and Gromit is so cute and funny, and the team doing it is super talented. Like, you don't see claymation anywhere anymore. And I think I looked into it, and one of the factories closed down. So they bought the last amount of clay in that factory to finish this movie, and they have to find a new supplier, blah, blah, blah. Claymation is dying, and these are the only people really keeping it up. I think it's Oddman Studios. I must double check. So why only a 7 and not an 8? I just compare it to Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and that had so much character, and you get this, and it's like, okay, I see where it's coming from, but it's more modernized, and I think it does cater to a more modern audience. But yeah, it's just a gut feeling. I have. I didn't like it as much as the first one, giving it a 7. But still, movie is really good. I think it won an award of how good it looked for a claymation. So I recommend it. If you like claymation or animation, just give it a watch. I think it's a good one. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I I've been thinking about it with like Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's an inventor, and every episode he comes up with like a bunch of inventions. And Wallace and Gromit, they're also inventors. But I'm wondering like how much does it cost to be an inventor? Because I know in the movie they actually mention, yeah, Wallace and Gromit are broke, they have bills to pay. Let's build this gnome, and then the gardening service can make us money and blah blah blah. How much does it take to build these inventions? Because like Dr. Doof, he has huge ray guns and all this stuff, and where does he get the funding? Do they have day jobs and then they do inventing on the side? Because obviously Dr. Doof doesn't take over the tri-state area, so he doesn't get money from that. And Wallace and Gromit have inventions, but they usually fail. So where do they get the money from? I don't understand. It's just interesting. I don't know, maybe he's like a trust fund kid and he just has a lot of money. I don't know. He seems old though. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.